September 1944, inside the Nazi concentration camp of Dachau, a young woman was taken to her death. She was only 30 years old. For months, she had been beaten, chained, interrogated, and kept in solitary confinement. The Gestapo wanted names, they wanted radio codes, they wanted the secrets of the French resistance, but she refused. She did not betray her comrades. She did not reveal her mission. And according to later accounts, her final word before death was simple: liberté, freedom. This is the story of Noor Inayat Khan, a writer, a musician, a believer in peace, and one of the bravest Allied spies of the Second World War, a princess of peace. Noor Inayat Khan was born on January 1st, 1914, in Moscow. Her father was Hazrat Inayat Khan, an Indian Sufi teacher, musician, and spiritual leader. Her mother was Aura Ray Baker, an American woman who later became known as Amina Begum. Noor's family had a remarkable heritage. Through her father's side, she was connected to Tipu Sultan, the famous ruler of Mysore in India, who fought against British expansion in the 18th century. Because of this ancestry, Noor was often described as an Indian princess, but her childhood was not shaped by power or luxury. It was shaped by music, by poetry, by spirituality, and by the belief that all human life had value. Her father taught peace, compassion, and unity between people. Violence was not celebrated in their home. War was not romanticized. Noor grew up gentle, thoughtful, and deeply sensitive. Nothing about her early life suggested that she would one day become a secret agent. Nothing suggested that she would be hunted by the Nazis, and nothing suggested that she would die refusing to speak. The writer in Paris, as a young woman, Noor lived near Paris, France. She studied child psychology at the Sorbonne. She also studied music at the Paris Conservatory. She played the harp. She wrote stories for children. She loved folklore, imagination, and moral lessons. In 1939, her book, 20 Jataka Tales, was published. These were stories inspired by Buddhist tales from ancient India. At this point in her life, Noor was not a soldier. She was not a spy. She was a writer. Her dream was to create stories that helped children understand kindness, courage, and wisdom. But history had other plans. In 1939, Nazi Germany invaded Poland. The Second World War began. Then, in May 1940, Germany invaded France. The German advance was fast and devastating. Paris fell, millions of civilians fled. Noor and her family escaped France and reached Britain. For Noor, this was a turning point. She still believed in peace, but she also believed that Nazi tyranny had to be resisted. So she made a difficult decision: she would serve. Joining the war in November 1940, Noor joined the Women's Auxiliary Air Force. This was known as the WAAF. She trained as a wireless operator. This skill would change her life. A wireless operator was one of the most dangerous jobs in occupied Europe. Agents had to carry hidden radio equipment. They had to send messages in secret. They had to keep moving, because if the Germans detected a radio transmission, they could track the signal, sometimes within minutes. A wireless operator could not stay in one place for long. Every message was a risk. Every transmission could be the last. Noor became skilled at radio work. She was fast, she was accurate, and she spoke fluent French. These qualities brought her to the attention of Britain's secret wartime organization, the Special Operations Executive, or SOE. Its mission was simple but dangerous: sabotage the Nazis, support resistance groups, gather intelligence, and help prepare occupied Europe for liberation. Noor was recruited into the French section of the SOE. Her code name would be Madeleine. Her wireless call sign was Nurse. Her cover identity was Jeanne-Marie Renier. She was about to enter Nazi-occupied France, the first female wireless operator sent into France. In June 1943, Noor was flown into occupied France by a small Lysander aircraft. She landed at night. She had entered one of the most dangerous places in Europe. Paris was full of German soldiers, informers, and secret police. The resistance networks were under constant threat. The Gestapo was watching, and radio operators were especially hunted. Noor became the first female wireless operator sent from Britain into occupied France by the SOE. Her mission was to maintain communication between resistance networks in France and SOE headquarters in London. Through her messages, London could receive intelligence, resistance groups could request supplies, weapons, money, and instructions could be coordinated. To viewers today, radio messages may sound simple, but in 1943, these messages were lifelines. Without wireless operators, resistance networks could become isolated. Without communication, sabotage plans could collapse. Without communication, agents could disappear, and London might never know what happened. Noor's job was not glamorous. It was tense, lonely, and terrifying. She had to carry equipment, find safe houses, change locations, send coded messages, and avoid detection. One mistake could mean arrest. One betrayal could mean death. The network collapses. Soon after Noor arrived in France, disaster struck. The SOE network around Paris began to collapse. German intelligence had infiltrated parts of the resistance. Agents were arrested, safe houses became unsafe, contacts disappeared. The danger was growing by the day. London offered Noor the chance to return home. She could have escaped. She could have ended her mission. She could have saved herself. But Noor refused to leave. She believed she was one of the last remaining radio operators in the Paris area. If she left, communication with London could be badly damaged. So she stayed. For months, Noor moved through Paris under constant danger. She transmitted messages while the Germans searched for her. She changed addresses. She avoided traps. She tried to keep the network alive. It was an astonishing act of courage. Not loud courage, not battlefield courage, but quiet courage. The courage to remain alone in enemy territory while knowing that capture was becoming more likely every day. Betrayal. In October 1943, Noor was betrayed. The exact details have been debated by historians, but many accounts point to betrayal from someone connected to the network. She was arrested in Paris and taken to the German security headquarters at 84 Avenue Foch. This address became infamous. It was one of the most feared Gestapo interrogation centers in occupied Paris. Inside that building, captured agents were questioned, threatened, and tortured. Noor resisted immediately. She attempted to escape more than once. She fought so fiercely during her arrest and imprisonment that the Germans considered her extremely dangerous. But she had one serious weakness in her security. The Germans found her notebooks. These contained records of messages she had sent. This was against normal security procedure. The mistake allowed German intelligence to imitate her transmissions. They used her radio and codes to send false messages to London. This was one of the tragic parts of Noor's story. She herself refused to give away secrets, but the material found after her capture helped the Germans continue a deadly deception. Even so, under interrogation, Noor did not betray her comrades. A German officer later testified that she gave no useful information. She lied, she resisted, she refused to cooperate, the prisoner who would not break. After her escape attempts, Noor was sent to Germany. She was imprisoned at Pforzheim. There she was kept in harsh conditions. She was held in solitary confinement. Her hands and feet were shackled. She was treated as a dangerous prisoner. For around 10 months, she endured isolation and abuse. Imagine the psychological pressure. No friends, no sunlight of freedom, no news from family, no certainty that anyone knew where she was. Only guards, chains, interrogations, and waiting. The Nazis wanted to break her spirit, but Noor still did not give them what they wanted. This is what makes her story so powerful. She was not trained from childhood for war. She was not a hardened fighter. She had been raised with pacifist values. She loved stories, children, and music. And yet, when faced with torture and death, she showed extraordinary strength. Her courage was not based on hatred. It was based on loyalty, duty, and belief in freedom. Dachau. On September 12, 1944, Noor was transferred to Dachau concentration camp in Germany. She was taken there with 3 other female SOE agents, Madeleine Dammerment, Yolande Beekman, and Eliane Pluman. The next day, September 13, 1944, the 4 women were executed. Noor Inayat Khan was shot by the Nazis at Dachau. She was 30 years old. Some accounts say she was beaten before her death. Some accounts say her final word was liberté, freedom. Whether spoken loudly or quietly, that word became the symbol of her life. Because Noor had been offered chances to save herself. She could have left France. She could have talked. She could have betrayed others to reduce her suffering. But she chose silence. She chose resistance. She chose honor. And she paid for it with her life. Recognition after death after the war, Noor's bravery was officially recognized. Britain awarded her the George Cross, one of the highest awards for civilian gallantry. France awarded her the Croix de Guerre. Her story was remembered not only because she died bravely, but because of what she represented. She was Indian by heritage, American through her mother, born in Russia, raised in France, and served Britain in the fight against Nazi Germany. Her life crossed nations, cultures, and religions. She was a Muslim woman, a Sufi, a writer, a radio operator, a spy and a martyr of the resistance. In a war often remembered through armies, tanks, and generals, Noor's story reminds us that courage can also live in quiet people, in gentle people, in people who never wanted violence, but still refused to surrender to evil. Noor Inayat Khan did not command an army. She did not lead a famous battle. She did not survive to write her memoirs. But in the shadows of occupied Paris, she helped keep resistance communication alive. When the Gestapo captured her, they tried to force her secrets out of her. They failed. When prison and chains were used to break her, they failed. And when she was taken to Dachau, she faced death with the same courage she had shown in life. Noor Inayat Khan's story is not just the story of a spy. It is the story of a peaceful woman who chose courage, a princess who chose duty, and a prisoner who refused to break. Her final stand reminds us that heroism does not always roar. Sometimes heroism is silence under torture. Sometimes heroism is refusing to betray others. And sometimes heroism is one word spoken in the face of death.